I had the distinct disadvantage of, I'm going to find this hard to believe, not knowing anything about this play when we picked it. And it's like I live in a cave or something. But I had never been exposed to Jesus Christ Superstar, either the movie, or the music, or live production. And so it was kind of scary to direct it with all these people around me who knew the play backwards and forwards. And Tamara knows every lyric and was my assistant. And most of the cast could play everybody's roles. And I was like, learning the piece. But in a way, it was kind of an advantage because when I sat down with this material for the first time several months ago at my desk at home, by myself and put headphones on to listen to the music and had the score in front of me to read the lyrics. It was the very first time I was exposed to it. And so of all the people in the production, I had this pure experience that unhampered by previous tapes in my head of things I had seen or productions or even the movie. It just was me and the script. And when I finished reading it, I was a basket case. I mean, I am Italian, so I do cry at the national anthem. But I was really a wreck. I mean, I was emotionally moved by this material, so much so that I sat for a long time in my chair and didn't say anything, and just thought about my own spirituality and my own faith, and sort of did a lot of soul searching as to who I was and what I felt about God, and was I a believer, and it was a wild experience. It's the only way I can explain it. I tell actors all the time while you're working on the play, don't forget to let the play work on you. And in this case, this play really worked on me. And I had a feeling for it right away that was, after I did the research and discovered the history of it and the controversies and all of the various ways it had been done, I realized that I had a completely different reaction to it. And to this day, I've not finished watching the movie because when I sat down to watch it, my head was in such a different place. It wasn't that I was saying it was a bad movie or I didn't like it, but I wasn't where I was with this piece, and so it didn't inform me in any way. It didn't help me. So I went to my costume designer first, and I said, Richie, what I want you to do for me is I don't want to put this in the 60s. I don't want to put it in Afghanistan. I don't want to have Germans in it and Darth Vader. And it's not the way I want to direct it. I want to direct it from the heart, from the way I felt about it, really respectfully and reverently and compassionately. And I said, and I would think that the story would be more evocative and impacting if we could create a sort of timeless period. And I said, so what I'd like you to do is think about taking bits and pieces of all of the time periods you can think of, biblical, futuristic, present, and put them all together and create what ultimately will be a period that can look like a lot of periods, but ultimately will be a timeless period. And he went, whoa. And he said, I know what you're saying. I know that kind of design. He said, I just want you to know it's the hardest design that you can ask a designer to do. And he said, and I really want to do it. And you'll see that tonight in this production. Some brilliance, really. And I went to my scenic designer second. And I said, Nana, what I really want you to do is I want you to create a world that reflects ancient, present, and futuristic, and so that we are really ultimately looking at a timeless place. And she went, whoa. And she said, I'd really like to do that. And I said, and I'd like you to do it with as few elements, as few ingredients as possible. I'd like it to be simple and minimalist and of the earth. And we came after several meetings, we came up with 3 textures in the show, which you will see tonight. One is stone, and one is cloth, and one is metal. And those are the only textures in the play. If there's a prop, it's either metal, cloth, or stone. And it has come to represent to me the different parts of humanity, the metal being the sort of icy, cold, heartless part of us, and the softness of the cloth representing the sort of compassionate, soft part of us, and the stone, our resilience as human beings, and how the stone is about as close to forever as one can get in this world. I wanted to have something, I wanted to say something to the audience to welcome them and to make them feel a part of our production. The first day, you know, we sat in a big circle, we stood actually in a big circle around some of the set, and they asked a lot of really smart questions, as they usually do, and I get really nervous. And they said, well, where are we coming from? And I said, well, I guess you're coming from various parts of the stage, and somebody suggested that if I really wanted to welcome the audience, we should come through the audience. And so you'll notice tonight in the production, you know, without giving too much away, you will see us enter amongst you and exit amongst you, and that's by design to say thank you for coming to share this experience with us. What you're about to see tonight is a very committed, loving, compassionate, and hopeful presentation of Jesus Christ Superstar. Thank you.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz?